Last night was the vice presidential debate between Kamala Harris and Mike Pence. The issue of climate change arose naturally, and Vice President Pence said some things that I believe warrant a response.
Well, first, I'm very proud of our record on the environment and on conservation. According to all of the best estimates, our air and land are cleaner than any time ever recorded. Our water is among the cleanest in the world.
So to talk about clean air and clean water is to talk about infrastructure. And America has had poor infrastructure for some time now. We get a rate of D-, and the Flint, Michigan water crisis still has not had a concrete resolution. There's still toxic levels of lead in the water, and they still have to go through the river. It's a mess. The EPA reports that the rate of emissions, that we are reducing emissions, has slowed under President Trump. That is to say that President Obama was doing a far better job at reducing emissions, and that reductions, while not necessarily sped up under Trump, the rate at which they have slowed has reduced. So to say that we have the cleanest air and cleanest water now than ever before, it just belies history.
And just a little while ago, the president signed the Outdoors Act, the largest investment in our public lands and public parks in 100 years. So President Trump has made a commitment to conservation and to the environment. Now, with regard to climate change, the climate is changing. But the issue is, what's the cause and what do we do about it?
I don't want to hastily accuse the vice president of denying the concept of anthropomorphic climate change, but the science has been for some time now. The issue is man-made, and we know that the vast majority of emissions is caused by a few companies that are based in the U.S. and China, the United States being the second largest emitter. We know that the issue is man-made.
President Trump has made it clear that we're going to continue to listen to the science. Now, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris would put us back in the Paris Climate Accord. They'd impose the Green New Deal, which would crush American energy, would increase the energy costs of American families in their homes, and literally...
Again, attempting to tie the Green New Deal to the Biden campaign. Joe Biden ran opposed to the Green New Deal, and while Kamala Harris may have independently supported, she is now serving under the capacity of former Vice President Joe Biden's running mate. The Biden platform does not include a Green New Deal, and any attempt to tie Joe Biden to the Green New Deal, even though as I support the Green New Deal, it is disingenuous at this point.
Really would crush American jobs. And President Trump and I believe that
the Green New Deal is an infrastructure bill, not necessarily just a climate bill. There's no evidence to say that it would destroy jobs. In fact, all the available evidence says that it would go to subsidize energy and support jobs, increasing energy sectors.
The progress that we have made in a cleaner environment has been happening precisely because we have a strong free market economy.
Under that free market economy, oil subsidies have continued under Trump's administration.
You know, what's remarkable is the United States has reduced CO2 more than the countries that are still in the Paris Climate Accord, but we've done it through innovation.
So this is a loaded topic. The United Nations recognizes 251 countries. The United States officially recognizes fewer than 200. The Paris Climate Accord has 189 signatories, 189 countries that have signed on. This includes countries that have vastly fewer emissions than the United States, who have far smaller carbon footprints, and even countries that don't need to reduce emissions because they really don't have much. It also includes countries like countries like France that get 75% of their power from zero carbon neutral nuclear energy sources. They've actually have plans to reduce that to 50% by 2035. To compare the United States emissions to the whole of the Paris Climate Accord is not an accurate it doesn't paint an accurate picture. If you want to compare the United States climate actions to our Western neighbors, such as Canada and France, as I just said that France gets most of their power from nuclear, we are fallen way behind, and as said previously, we are still the second highest emitter in the world.
And we've done it through natural gas and fracking, which, Senator, the American people can go look at the record. I know Joe Biden says otherwise now, as you do, but the both of you repeatedly committed to abolishing fossil fuel and banning fracking.
So the scientists have been clear for now. Again, he said that earlier they were going to do what the scientists say. The scientists are saying that oil, natural gas, and other fossil fuels are dated, inefficient, expensive, and dangerous methods of extracting energy from the earth. And then he goes on to accuse Kamala Harris of supporting the fracking ban. She later took to Twitter to say that isn't. While Kamala Harris, again, on the primary trail, may have supported a fracking ban, the Biden platform does not include a fracking ban. In fact, they've taken to Twitter to say that they will not ban fracking. Even though, as much as they say they won't ban fracking, they should ban fracking.